Hello YouTube and welcome back to Assetto Corsa. Thank you very much for joining me in this live stream. I cannot remember what I did on the last live stream, but this live stream is going to be something that I have planned, or at least somewhat planned. I kind of know what I'm doing here. The idea is I'm going to be racing around Formula 1 cars in or against the Nurburgring Nordshleife. This is going to be quite interesting. Obviously, in some cases, because Formula 1 cars used to race on the Nordschleife, they don't anymore. They have the Nurburgring mini track, or I say mini track, it's the GP circuit. I'll be including that as well. So in fact, if we just jump out of this is the track we're going to be going around over and over and over in different vehicles today. Hopefully everybody can hear me really well. Let's actually crank this volume up right the way as well, so we'll see what happens over the course of the next few minutes, make sure everything is all settled in. I have adjusted the audio offset slightly, so I'm hoping that gear changes that you can hear there, if you can hear them, should be perfectly in sync. I think I found that they were slightly ahead of the video, maybe by 0.1 of a second or something, after doing some tweaks a few months ago. So that's what I've gone ahead and done. Let's get this started. I've got the track. Let's go ahead and pick the car. So the first thing I need to do, obviously it's going to be an F1 car. I need to pick an era, a decade for the F1 cars. And I was thinking, why don't I start right at the beginning of F1, or as close as I can get to the beginning, with a Maserati. Which Maserati though? Do I go for the 6-cylinder or the 12-cylinder? That's the big question. So I'm thinking that the 6-cylinder is the version that would be raced in 1954. In 1956 to 1960, it was a 12-cylinder, so that's what I'm thinking of doing first. Mr. Leo, good evening. I'm glad you could make it. So that's what I'm thinking of starting. The only problem is this car is very, very, very slidey, and I mean very, 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 very slidey. I'm trying to figure out what colour to race it in as well. I mean, I'm guessing the red's probably the colour of choice here. But number 1 or number 3? That's the big question. It doesn't have number 23 there, otherwise I would have taken number 23. But that's the question. Number 16, no. Let's just go ahead and take number 1. So, first car, first track is going to be the Nordschleife. Let's make sure that that's not on a 60 multiplier. That would be terrible. One-time multiplier. Give it a specific date. Let's look for, well, let's go for today, I suppose. Here we go. Let's just do, no, I said today. There we go. Right. Hopefully I won't make you laugh too much. The odds are I might make you cringe a lot. We don't have Postman Pat's van today, so no laughing there. Maybe a little bit of giggles on the background. Let's move my microphone nice and close so that I can drive and you guys can still hear me. Bring this down. And there. Now the only way I'm going to make you laugh is if the microphone falls on my face. Alright, let's go for it. So, Maserati 250F, 6-cylinder. Let's say 12, half past 12, few clouds, everything looks good. I'll give it a better temperature. Let's go for about 18, 19 degrees. A little bit better. Drop the wind down. Hot lap start. Tyre blankets? Nah, no need to have tyre blankets. We're going for a hot lap start. Each one is going to start on a hot lap start, and we'll see what happens. I'm just going to throw in, is it standard G27? G27. I'm just going to throw in the G27 one. I remember having an issue between the two. Loading data for custom shader patch. That's a different one. That's a very new one. Hopefully everybody is having a lovely and safe Thursday. Or would anyone be on Friday right now? Yeah, Australians. But we'll see. Can't wait to see how many crashes on the first lap. Well, yeah. Yes, that's... yeah. I need to disable that record your game thing. I don't care about the Xbox Game Bar. Go away, Windows 10. Yes, this can only go badly. I think. This can only go badly. Very badly. But you never know. You never know. It might be okay. Hopefully the volumes will be okay. We are loading into the first F1 car, so we'll see. Good luck, have fun, as says the old saying. I thought the old saying was if in doubt, flat out. Oh wait, no, wait, wrong discipline. Okay. I am going to crank up this because I think we're going to need it on the back straight. Tyres will stick as they are. Fuel will stick as it is. I'm not going to change anything. I'm just going to leave most things standard. Tyre pressures. Could I play around with tyre pressures? Do I want to play around with tyre pressures? Yes, I do. I'm just going to drop the tyre pressures very slightly. And given the nature of the circuit, no, it doesn't really matter. There's nothing I can do in a very specific way. Now, I am trying to stream at a higher bitrate. There may be a few more judders. I do apologise, but I hope there'll be few and far between. And there aren't many frames skipped. Okay, I do not need any of that stuff. So let's go to that one. I'm going to leave the map on, so for people who maybe aren't so familiar with the Nordshleife, you know exactly where I am at all times. But let's see exactly what we can do. I think, given the sound of that, it probably needs to go down. Let's bring that down to about 70, so that at least you can hear me talk over it, and I can then bring that down a little bit. Okay, wheel spin off the start. Getting a feel for this. Already feeling the slides. This is going to be one slow lap. Onto the GP circuit. The car just likes slight left and right all the time. It's crazy. Whoa. Okay, there is something I've forgotten to do. Something I very much forgot to do. Let's press the brakes all the way to calibrate them. There we go. Now let's go. Okay. Let's try that again. Wait. Does this thing not have a turning circle? Okay, the brakes should be a little bit better now. There we go. Much better on the brakes. Wait, what? Turn. Nope, no turning. We'll manage. So this is a Formula 1 car from this one is from 1954. Braking in a straight line means that I end up missing every apex. That's okay though. I think I've only ever driven this car once when it came out on... Was it the red pack it came out in? That's the only time I've ever driven this car. Coming up to the Michael Schumacher S. Flat in modern Formula 1 cars. Nowhere near flat in this car. There's bits of counter steering everywhere actually. Braking very early for this corner. Still managing to miss the apex. Yes, this is how you drive a Formula 1 car from the 1950s. You have to be very gentle with it. Braking at the 150 marker. Oh wait, I forgot this is not the F1 circuit. I was waiting for the first chicane. That was a mistake. Okay, and on to the Nordshleife itself. Here we go. Now we're in this car's territory. Albeit a modern version of this car's territory, but this car's territory nonetheless. Do I know drivers that drove this car? Yeah, didn't... Oh, I cannot remember off the top of my head, but some of the names will be familiar. Alberto Ascari was one that drove this car, I believe. So that's probably a famous... I think that's one famous name on it. I can't remember if Hill drove this car. And I cannot remember if... Did Fangio ever drive this car? But I'm pretty sure Ascari did. Sawing at the wheel here is not for cinematic effect. I assure you that's not for cinematic effect at all. Sawing at the wheel is to literally prevent the car from sliding out. Because this car is just... The rear end of this car... Well, put it this way, there's not much in the way of... Whoop. Don't do that. There's not much in the way of rear end stability in this car. Whoop, there we go again. Round we go, and hit the brakes. I think Fangio might have driven this car, but Ascari did. I'm fairly sure Ascari drove this car. There's something for you to look up. And if you're wondering why I'm doing a Formula 1 drive suddenly, there's a reason. There is a reason why I'm driving these Formula 1 cars. It's not just for comedic effects. You know, laughing at someone who can't figure out how to get a crazy Formula 1 car around an old track. There we go. This car only has 4 gears. This variant of it has 270 bhp, somewhere around that. It is a full manual gearbox, so no... Whoa. You cannot just shift gears with a paddle, and clearly, as you can see, turning with this vehicle is incredibly difficult. Steering lock is mostly non-existent. Aerodynamics are non-existent. Well, I say they are non-existent, they're not. If they were non-existent, you wouldn't even be able to get it up to the speed that we do get it up to, but they're fairly rudimentary. No additional aerodynamic, shall I say. You've got the bodywork itself, the actual shape across the chassis, the main bodywork, the sort of windscreen, or the wind deflector in this case, so it's not really that much of a screen. But you have the wind deflector, and that's about it when it comes to bodywork. V6 engine in this, not the V12. It was raced in 1954 to 1956. In 1956, this vehicle was upgraded to a V12 engine, which then raced on until 1960. So far it's taken us 9 minutes to get here, albeit we've had a little bit of a start, but still, about 9 minutes to get to this place. Well, car's giving out on me. Back end just does not want to settle down. That was a good turn. Unfortunately it went onto the grass, but that was a really good turn. The back end really does not want to settle. Back up on the grass here. I'm going to slam on the... well, I won't say slam on the brakes. It's not really slamming on the brakes. Just not sure how much mechanical grip this vehicle has. Certainly the mechanical grip doesn't seem to be all too fantastic. There we go. But it isn't terrible. That's the great thing. The tyre is incredibly skinny, so obviously you need to take that into account and be aware of that. Inside or outside of carousel, I'm going on the inside because that's what you do with a car like this. There we go. Floor it. Say floor it, try to floor it. It takes a while for it to start building up its speed. Then once you've built up the speed, you have to slow down because this car doesn't have the grip to make it through corners at any capable speed. This car still run rings around some cars today. Not F1 cars, of course, but many different vehicles, sports cars and things like that. And oh, there we go. Fangio and Sterling Moss. There you go, Sterling Moss as well. I wanted to say Moss, but I wasn't 100% sure whether Moss drove a Maserati. Fangio being first in Argentina. There you go, 1954. So I couldn't remember whether Sterling Moss drove it. I have it in the review. The review is such a long time ago now. Listen to that crackle on downshift. Going through the YouTube corner. This is something that would definitely make it onto a YouTube video, or multiple YouTube videos if this was driving around. Not that they would let this be driven around nowadays. Certainly not by me. Probably not by many. But I am managing to do this without crashing the car. I say without crashing the car, I'm sure there's a few corners to go. A crash is still possible. It's still very, very possible. And of course I'm not pushing this car massively. I'm not used to it at all. This being the second time I've ever driven it in the Assetto Corsa. First time I drove it was for 10 minutes. Oh dear. Missed the second carousel. Races on privately owned. That could have been possible. That could have been very possible. Coming onto the back straight, front straight, the straight. Now this is where we're really going to open up the taps if I can get a good exit. And see how fast this car really can go. Now remember, this car does not have high-speed stability. So, as I go flat out, I am going to be worried that the back of the car is going to decide to sort of step out on me. But apparently, flat out in this car with the gear ratio I've got is 151 miles per hour. I'm sure it can do a little bit more. I'm worried about this corner coming up though. There we go. Unfortunately, that was as fast as I could go. Onto the grass we go. Right, that just shows that how little grip this vehicle has. I'm not going to do another lap on this because we are going to go to the V12 version of this car very, very soon. Sterling Moss later said that the 250F was the right 14 minutes 39 roughly, but that was a practice. Let's go to a V12 version of this car. Let's take a look at some of the moments on a replay. 250F was the best front-engined F1 car you ever drove. Well, you know what? He could be right. I mean, I don't know much about front-engine F1 cars, but this is the F1 car I was driving. And it's slidey. It's strange. And of course, being a front-engined is also incredibly different for someone like me who's used to mid-engined F1 cars. That's a nice car. That is a nice car. But we're going to go to the V12 version now, and let's see how much faster the V12 version of this can actually end up being, because that's going to be the ideal. That's going to be the ideal part. What I have noticed is that the frames do seem to be lagging just a little bit. I do need to keep an eye on that. Because we're getting a new laptop soon, so it might just be the fact that I just do not have the ability to do the pass-through, because I have the internet. I have the internet to do this, but clearly not the pass-through. Right. Let's go straight up to the 12-cylinder version. There we go. And racing 283, 54. Ooh, which variant of this should we drive? I mean, Maserati, really, you are looking at a red vehicle here. What time in the 6-cylinder? I did a 14 minutes 39. I'll start writing down times on this as a note, and then we'll be able to compare as we go around. But of course, that was straight 6, not a V6. But it was straight 6 to V12. I think they just added another bank of it and turned it over to the side. Let's have a look. I'm just going to write it down. So it's going to be 250F inline 6 was 40 minutes 39 approximately. We are now going to go for this one. This should be faster. Same temperature, same track, same setup. Let's see what we get. Hopefully not a massive frame lag. So 250F V12. What's your guess? Red and blue. Yeah. Or like the EC Gadget logo, as that's all changed now. But very much so. Although the blue's slightly different. I like this blue though. I do very much like the blue. Same compound of tyres. I am going to drop this the exact same way. Like so. Same amount of fuel. Do you know what? The gearing is quite good. It's got a much higher top speed. And the gearing should be fine for that. Let's give this a go. You can see the extra exhausts and everything. You can actually see the smoke coming, exhaust smoke. Wait, since when is that a thing? Wait a minute. Since when is exhaust smoke a thing in Assetto Corsa? Okay. Well, that's that. Can I tell the story, the name and the logo? Ooh, yeah, sure. Whilst I'm driving this, I'll tell the story about that. Let me get this up to speed. So, the idea of the name has been my name for... Oh, when did the whole EC Gadget name come about? Probably 2006. That's when I first started using that name. 2006, 2007. So that's when I first started using that name. And the idea behind the original name for the channel... Oh, as I almost lose control. The idea for the original name of the channel was because there were 3 of us, as I'm sure original subscribers or early subscribers will remember. 3 of us wanted to just do some things, and it was related to ideas we had business-wise, and making something out of it. As time went on, obviously I kept the channel running on my own because it was something that I needed to do. I had to put it in, and the time my then colleagues didn't really have the time to put into it. So I started running the channel on my own, and then I decided, you know what, let's make it a proper YouTube channel. This was maybe oh, I hit the wrong gear. I hit the wrong gear there. That's fine. We'll just ignore that happen. We'll just pretend that didn't happen. So I decided, let me make it a proper YouTube channel. This was probably about 3 years ago, 2017, maybe mid-2016. So almost 4 years ago now. But let me start making a proper YouTube channel. I started putting some effort into it, started doing some more videos, different series, trying to push with the different series a little bit more. And I thought, you know what, it's about time that I changed the logo, I modernized the logo, kept it, brought it in line with what I want to, and give it its own proper identity, and give myself a proper identity as, EC Gadgets, not just a name, but someone with a logo, the channel recognised as it, the brand name, everything like that. So I spent about 6 or 7 months making a logo, designing logos. It took a very, very long time, I'll be honest, to get this logo quite right. I went through about 12 different iterations of it before I settled on the idea I had. And the logo idea, if you look at the logo, you'll notice that there are different things that you can see in the logo. So one of the things you can see, for example, is it looks like spokes of a wheel. So it has 3 spokes that are at an equal angle, and if you were to spin that, you'd get yourself a perfect circle, i.e. your wheel. So you've got yourself a wheel hub, and that's supposed to represent the whole racing or the whole wheel side of things being on the ground. The idea of the hexagons in the middle and the actual general angular shape of it tends to be a note about futuristic. It looks like something that you see as technologically advanced. That's what I felt the angular shapes did. But also, if you look at the way the lines on the side are that connect the main 3 spokes, as it were, if you were to join all those together, you end up with the shape of an aircraft. You end up with a delta, and that looks very much like an aircraft delta. So that puts through the whole flying and flight simulation and rocket side of what I do. So that was the idea behind the logo. The colours were, well, I tend to do a lot of things as, does this have 6 now? 5. Give it some British flair. So the colours, the red, white and blue, of course, are the exact same colours on the British flag. So they are the colours of the Union flag, or the Union Jack, if you're flying it out to sea. So that's what I've done there. So that's how I came about with the actual logo. The name, that's a more private thing. why I have that name and where it came from. It's actually a long story, but when I initially went to create that name, it wasn't going to be, well, the name you see today, EC Gadget, it would not have been EC Gadget. It would have been something slightly different. But in the end, I ended up with EC Gadget, and it stuck. And so that's who I am. That's what I have now. No! Do not slide understeer. Oh, I like this car a lot more than the inline six. There's just something about this car. I think maybe maybe Sterling Moss was speaking about this car being the best front-engined F1 car he's ever driven. Because this is good as I crash. There's one crash. The problem is, once you go off with this, once you go off once, that's it, you're gone. As for when the name changed, I'm just trying to figure out exactly when the name changed. It's actually on Twitter. The name changed a long time ago to EC Gadget Gaming or something. I just call it EC Gadget. But the logo changed 2 years ago, I think. This is a good car. This is a really good car. I'm not sure if it's much faster. I think you still have to take the same sort of speed through the corners. I suppose there's a little bit more in the way of aerodynamics on this vehicle. I can feel it a little bit. There's a bit more turning. And of course the car is faster. You can definitely feel the additional speed on this car. Oops. There we go. Oh, that's bad. See, the inline 6 did that so much better. They are the ones you hear on the Dream Pack reviews, correct. They're the ones that you hear on the first however many Assetto Corsa videos. And some of them, it's of course, I think, I'm not sure what episode you hear them until, but I do remember bringing them back for episode 100. I do remember that. Oh, we managed to find some time, get some things sorted out, and we did an episode 100 as 3 of us as well. Time is definitely, things have changed on YouTube since that time. Ideas and plans have changed as to what I want to do with YouTube, what I can do. Things are still changing behind the scenes for me, and how I approach this channel, the content I create and things like that. Of course, I keep you guys in the loop as Patreons. I will keep you in the loop. So you've seen a few things showing how things are changing, but I think it's still a transition period of sorts, but not so bad anymore. Obviously, the front end, the side that you see on YouTube, is all running well. It's now the behind the scenes, the administration. The way in which I go about producing videos, the videos itself that I produce, all that kind of thing is now all things that I have to work on. The way in which I earn my money through YouTube as well. is something I need to consider and figure that out. Ah, you joined for Dream Pack 1 and 2. Yes, so that's who I am talking about. So that's where we started the channel. It's mainly something I wanted to do, but we thought it would be nice if, oh dear, jump. It'd be nice if a few of us, or 3 of us could get together and do it, but we weren't sure. This car is a little bit more unwieldy, I have to say, but it is a lot better to drive. I think it's just a bit more unwieldy due to the fact that it goes faster than you'd think. Plus I've had far less slides in this car. It's been more just when it goes off you just crash. I think that's cost me a little bit of time as well. So none of these are going to be clean laps as such. Alright, let's open up the beans on this one and see what we have. There's 140. There's 150. There's 160. That's 11 miles per hour faster than the other one. 12 miles per hour faster. 13. 14. And more control through here. I need to get myself some racing shoes. 14:39 to beat. How much faster does this one do it? $13:44.95. $13:44.95. That's not bad at all. Let's go take a look at a bit of a replay on that. Let's forward up to something like this. There's a bit of weird stuttering going on. $13:44.95. There you go. 5 seconds faster. No, 1 minute, almost a minute faster. 55, about 54.5 seconds faster over across that lap. So that's what we're looking at there. That's not bad. I am going to save that replay because I think I could get a couple of decent pictures on that. Oh, actually, I do want to see the new photo mode. What's the new photo mode? Well, that's not it, is it? There's a new photo app. Where is it? Patch apps. Here we go. Particles. No, that's not it. Photo mode. There it is. Look at that. Brand new photo mode. We have depth of field, shutter speed, and an actual working depth of field. I think. Is it working? I think it does. Unfortunately, it only does up to 100 meters, but still. I want to give this a go. Let's see. F5. Let's do that. Now, unfortunately, what we do not have is aperture. That's the thing we're missing. Let's find a picture through the grass. Like that. Kuno's still updating Assetto Corsa. No. No, welcome to Content Manager and all of its uploads and all of its changes. We can give it a bit of roll. There we go. CPL. I don't know what CPL means. Scene. High drivers. No. High damage. What? Okay, fine. No. I want to see what happens if I take that shot. Okay. It's taken a photo. Let's have a look. I'm going to quit this one. Let's go to the next F1 car. But I'm going to quickly check the photo. There's the lap time. 13:44.959 is what I managed. Obviously, first lap on this car since it first came out. But we'll see. We'll see what we have. I'm just going to take a look in the media at today's photo. I want to see how this... now you see, that's a problem. That's not what I wanted. Okay. So it's slightly... Something different's happened here. So this has taken the photo as though I was stopped. I want to take the photo as if I'm following the car. I.e. like... Not that one. That's a terrible photo. That's like one of those photos you take as an emergency. Like this, where I am following the car and that's... that everything else is blurred, motion blurred. So I need to figure that one out. Right. I'm a terrible photographer. I'm genuinely a terrible photographer. I do try, but it doesn't really work. Right. Okay. Let's move on to. Well, should we go to 1962? Should we go to 1962 and see what changed by the time we got to 1962, or should we go slightly further and go straight up to 1967 with the Type 49? That's the big question. 62 or 67? 25 or 49? It's amazing how the 25 actually has engine covers and the 49 just went, no, scrap that. You still have the Abarth 500. Well, that's good. That's one good thing. Wait a minute. I also have all of these 1967 cars. There's the 49. There's the 33 as well. I tell you what we'll do. Let's do a lap in. Let's go to the Lotus and do a lap in the 25. Let's see what that's like. We'll take a look at the 25 and then we'll move over to a 67 car, but not the Lotus 49. This will be the first time I've driven a car that's not the Lotus Type 49. Dark blue modded one. I think that might have been the McLaren. That might have been the McLaren. Okay, Tower Model V10. Yes. Cockpit operated brake balance. Hello. You only saw a glimpse. I'll go back to that. This thing just looks like a tub with two exhausts at the back. What? Oh, okay then. It still dropped the tyre pressure slightly. Gearing. Definitely need to top the gearing out as fast as we can. But let's give this a go. Ooh, red steering wheel. Ooh, get rid of photo mode. Okay. It's heavy. Interesting brake discs. Let's go. Okay, immediately I can tell you one thing that I've noticed about this car. This car has some extra grip. Unlike the Maserati, this car actually has some grip. And it's a lot faster. Well, it feels faster. Actually, it doesn't feel faster, it feels slower. This has better turning than the Maserati, that's for sure. So going from 1960 to 1962 or 1954, and then what was it? 1954, 1957. Now we're in 1962. This car actually has turning. That's what I've learnt of this car straight away. This car has some turning. This car feels like... Okay. This car also is very low to the ground. Or it feels low to the ground. Either that or suspension is something that clearly they forgot in 1962. Michael Schumacher-esque still cannot go through it flat out. Not in these vehicles anyway. These vehicles just cannot do that. This car slides a lot less. Yep, this car feels a lot better to drive, I'll be honest. That's a really interesting noise. Coming out of the chicane, I'll probably stay a little bit quiet, just so you guys can hear the noise as I go on partial throttle. That's the strangest noise ever. I think Lotus were ahead of... I think in the 60s, Lotus were ruling the roost, as it were. But this car is genuinely good. I'm not sure if I've ever driven this car before. But it's genuinely a good car. It's mid-engined, so it's more balanced. Far less in the way of understeer in this car. The Maserati had understeer. This car still has some understeer, but nowhere near as much. I think the Maserati, the front just always was pushing to the outside. This car, you don't have that. When you have understeer, it's just due to it being too fast. It's telling me to reduce force feedback gearing. I am noticing that, so I am going to do that when I get a chance, momentarily. I can reach over. There we go, that should be better. I generally bring all these down to 85%. It seems to always be the sort of right-ish. That seems to be the right-ish area. This is a good car. This is a good Formula 1 car. I am colour me surprised. Well, it's not literally colour me surprised. Surprise isn't a colour. Actually, knowing people, surprise probably is a colour. It's probably a strange shade of green, or no, that's envy. I wonder what colour surprised would be. If you're watching this right now, please pop down what colour you think surprise should be. A green, an orange, yellow, maybe a strange blue. Maybe Moss should have tried this. Well, this wasn't a front-wheel drive car, so front-engined car, and he did say it was a front-engine F1 car. But this is brilliant. This is genuinely brilliant. Oh, that understeer is completely my fault. Surprise is pink. Okay. It's a fair enough colour. I would have put more yeah, I suppose pink could be surprise. The sounds on this car are fantastic. They genuinely are fantastic. And the slide, look at that slide. That was lovely. That felt really good to do. Really nice and simple. I didn't have to force the car around, just very gently controlled. Speaking of colours, do you agree that red cars are the fastest cars? No. No, I do not. I think people believe red cars are the fastest cars because I think in general terms, because people associate it with Ferrari. Don't go off. People associate with Ferrari. It's Pumpkin, how nice of you to join in. Very nice to see you. Yeah, and I think when people associate with Ferrari, you tend to, you tend to think red, fast car. But if you look through history, you've got green, for example, British racing green. You've got blues. You've had some pretty fast blue cars. If you think back to McLaren had some really fast cars over their time. Those were white, and yeah, some of them were red. You had white and red. You had orange. You had white and black. Oh, I went into the carousel a smidge too fast there. I almost jumped off the other side. Silver cars are the fastest cars. There's a valid one. You do have the silver arrows, of course, because you had the paint scratched off. That's some extra aerodynamics or weight reduction. Listen to that noise. So I actually am not sure if I've ever driven this car before. And given that, I think I may have once, again, just like the Maseratis. But this one feels so much more comfortable to just jump into and drive. And I'm really quite glad about that. So when I was going to start this stream, I knew I was going to be slow, that's for sure. But I was worried that I would not be able to drive these F1 cars, having not driven them in such a long time, and or in some cases at all, and being so out of the driving loop, as it were. even if I am slow, at least I'm hopefully providing some amount of entertainment. Oh, almost lost it over the top of the hill. That would have been interesting, that's for sure. Paint reduction is a thing, that's for sure. I mean, weight reduction with paint. Paint reduction, yeah, paint reduction is a thing as well. Weight reduction is a thing with removing paint, but the question is just how much does it save you? A tenth? 2 tenths? But it is a thing. I mean, the amount of paint you put on a vehicle is actually really, really important. I'm doing well from the looks in this piece. Well, thank you very much. I'm glad you think I'm doing rather well. I'm surprised I haven't binned it. I am surprised I haven't binned it, but there are some turns to go. And I might. Now that I've said that, curse the commentator. I think at one point I did a curse the commentator that was almost immediate. I said, "This is going well," followed by crunch. Oh, slightly overcooked that one. But here we go, end of the lap. And it is a 12:29.39. Thought I'd give it a little bit of crackle. Yes, the F40 did have a very, very thin coat of paint. Okay, well, what was that? 12:29.39, 12:29.49. I'll write that in a moment. So this is the Lotus 2025. Was it Lotus 25? For a tub with 2 exhausts sticking out the back, it looks kind of like a rocket, doesn't it? It's good. It's really good. I'm surprised. I am very, very surprised at that one. I am very surprised at this one. But what's that rear camber? Ridiculous. That's what it is. That's what the rear camber is. No, that's how they had to run. That's how these cars had to run. I think they ran positive camber. But there we go, there's a little bit of this vehicle. I'll save the replay. Again, I've got to work out the photographs and stuff, but really we're here for the driving. So let's go get out of this and jump into an even more modern car. Let's just write the time down for this. So far we've done 3. We've done 3 vehicles, and the first vehicle was the inline 6 Maserati 250F. That gave us a 14 minutes 39. The V12 version gave us a 13 minutes 44.959. This one, the Lotus 25, has got us into the 12 minutes. So 12 minutes 29.391. That's almost a minute and 15 seconds faster. Can I write the times down as an overlay? Maybe? For some reason you only get a pixelated view. I'm not too sure what the pixelated view is about. I know I am dropping frames a bit today. Let me see if I can do one of those overlays. I doubt it. Add a new source to the scene. I could, but I haven't got it set up. I'll do that for... I'll try and do that for next time, Leo. Some sort of timing or whatever on what I have. But I can sort of do that, but not exactly at this moment in time. But we are looking at, let's see, between the i6 250F and the Lotus 25, we're looking at 1 minute and 10 seconds. Sorry, 2 minutes 10 seconds faster. That's what we're looking at. So let's now move over to 1967. And I think it wasn't the McLaren, it was the Ford. That was the blue one, or was it the Eagle? Okay, so we had the Lotus 49 with 406 horsepower. We've got the 33 with 204. Right, let's not go for the 30. The 33 is just a newer version of the 25. The Eagle has 415 brake horsepower. They said they would cut bandwidth on Easter. Oh, that is a shame. That is a shame. I am actually dropping frames today. I'm wondering if they've dropped my bandwidth as well, because I am dropping frames, unfortunately. We've got 2 McLarens. That's a slower one, that's a newer one. We've got the Ford, which just looks incredibly slow. So it looks like we're going to attempt... Alright, let's attempt the Eagle. Look at this. I've never ever driven this car. Let's go for the Eagle. Let's go for the number 9. This is going to be interesting. This is going to be very interesting. Again, I do apologise for anybody who's watching this that is having issues perhaps with some stutters and things like that. It seems like my bandwidth has also been cut at the moment. Either that or my laptop's just not capable of pushing out at this higher bandwidth. I am trying to get clearer images. So, well, I'm supposed to have 36 megabits per second upload at the moment, but I do not. So this is the what? The Eagle. I think this is the Eagle T1G. I have never ever driven this car before, and I mean never ever. Top speed looks good. Top speed looks good. Right. Let's give it a whirl. Whoa, things are different. Things are louder. Things are a lot louder. Here we go. No, wait. I'm going to have to reduce that. Okay. 12 minutes 29 to beat. 12 minutes 29 to beat. Pop in your times right now. Whoever's watching, pop in what time you think this car's going to get. It's 5 years newer than the last car we did. The last car got a 1229. It is a V8. Ooh, this thing can actually have a little bit more force feedback. Now, I've never ever driven this car. Does sound like a V8. 5 gears only. "10 minutes 30 seconds. Alright, 10 minutes 30 seconds is what you think. Let's see how close you are to that. Oh, this car is slidey. This car is really slidey. I actually, so far, like the 25 more. This car is interesting, to say the least. So the 25 had a sort of feeling of you are in control of the car, and the power was bang on correct for the car. That's what the 25 had. This has a feeling of push it just a little bit too much and it will show you who's boss. And it certainly is not you. That's what this feels like. But it's good. It's good, but it's just sliding. Very sliding. Brakes are better than that of the 25. Brakes are certainly better. You should boost the voice volume. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll drop this thing's volume a little bit, because I cannot really boost the voice volume too much more. It's already going into the red. So I'll drop the volume on the car a little bit. Maybe you can hear me over that. Perfect. Very good. This is a workout in a way. You really have to... This car does not want to stay in a straight line. This car doesn't want to go around corners. This does feel a little bit like the 49 though. It's in a way, it's just a little bit all over the place, if that makes sense. Which is just like the 49, but not the 25. So far, the 25 has been my favourite. It was quick, but it was so, you felt so in touch with the car, planted. This car just touched 170 miles per hour down that section. Now I feel like I geared it too short. It's twitchy, it's really, really twitchy, as you can see. I think I should start that lap again. There's one crash. I'm actually going to start that lap again. I think it's only fair for a fair start. I will start that lap again. It's really twitchy. You won that bet, yes. Yeah, okay, this is a very, very twitchy car. It's actually going to make me work up a sweat, this car is. So, again, looking for 10 minutes 30. I'm not sure why this car is so twitchy, but it is. And it's incredible. Eagle T1G. I still like the Lotus 25 that we just drove though. The Lotus 25 was so much better. This car is just sideways, sideways, sideways. Stay safe, and thank you for coming along, Miss Pumpkin. How about I watch the track instead of the chat? I'll do that. That's a good idea. Right. Let's see what else I can do here. Okay, this is definitely making me work up a sweat. This is not an easy car to drive. Right. Put my foot down again. Let's see what we can do. So, Leo, you said 10 minutes 30, correct? slam on the brakes. Again, stronger brakes than a 25. We can go through all this. And, whoops. Slide. Let's not do that. Watch yourselves through the corner. I mean, this is just going sideways every corner. What I'll tell you one good thing about this car, apart from the fact that it's crazy. One good thing about this car is that it does tend to, you have a better F1 experience, I guess. Is that the right thing to say? Because it's sliding so much, you feel more on your toes. You feel more like you have to focus and concentrate, which is sort of the point of it. There we go again. It's gone again. I don't think I'm going to get a good lap out of this car, I'll be honest. I will be honest, I don't think I'm going to get a good lap out of this car. I want to try again though. This car looks good, it's really interesting to watch. I might do 2 laps with this car. I might just do 2 laps with this car. We'll have to see. We will definitely have to see. But if we do 2 laps with this car, I'll then need to go into the replay and take a 5-minute break or something. I have a feeling. We'll see. This car is very interesting to drive. It's just crazy. And the idea is you cannot let the car get away from you at any point. That is literally the key here. The car, if the car gets away from you, you're in trouble. I think, yeah, that's pretty much it. If you start losing the car, you've lost the car. You have 10 to 12 views, you can't take a 5-minute break. Okay, I'll leave a replay on and talk while I rest my arms for 10 seconds, 20 seconds. Oh, God, it's done again and again. So you know what I was talking about? The car getting away from you? There's 2 examples right there where it almost got away from me. Half a second I wouldn't have been able to catch it. I haven't got a clue how many views I've got, I'll be honest. I'm not looking at that. I'm barely managing to read your chat. And the chat's moved to the side of it. I don't think I've had to counter steer on a car as much as I have in this car. A Formula 1 car, that is. On the brakes, on the brakes. This looks like a real... looks like a real workout. This is. Sounds like one too. It is. It's probably more so that I tend to have my force feedback on as high as I possibly can for my steering wheel as well. Which isn't that high, to be honest, but when you're not used to driving a car and when you're not used to having to push and physically focus, well, physically drive the car, which is alright overall, but the mental concentration and then having to look at the chat and read that really quickly, yeah, I'm taking, when I'm looking at the chat, I'm looking at it for 0.2 of a second, if that, and even that is causing my concentration to maybe 0.3 of a second, yeah, and then having to process that whilst I'm trying to drive the car and not crash a car that I'm driving for the first time. Whoa. And this car just does not want to stay in a straight line. I'm starting to get the hang of it though. I'm starting to slowly get a hold of it. It's a testament to not texting and drive. Yeah, it's difficult. There's a reason why they say don't text and drive, don't do those kind of things. You know, in a simulator I can crash it, and that's okay. Embarrassing, yes, in some cases, but it's okay. Nobody's going to get hurt. The worst you can do is hurt your hand slightly if the wheel spins out on you or something, and you're still holding it and not paying attention. That's the worst you can get with my setup. I'm sure with other setups in the simulator, I know you could probably break your hand, but that's the worst. You do it on the road, somebody can die. So, but you know, it's not easy, as you can see. That was just full opposite lock there. That wasn't just minor opposite lock. That right there was full opposite lock. I think some of these clips might have to end up going on Instagram or as a YouTube little highlights thing as well as the entire stream. Here, your 1030 is not looking ridiculous, you know, and that includes a crash, which I'm going to count the crash. All right, don't touch curves. Do not touch curves. Your 1030 is not looking ridiculous at all, Rio. Wow, that catch! I want to see that catch in the replay. I'm going to take a look at that catch in the replay. Let's just easily just do a slight drift around the corners. Alright, and breathe. Ease off on the steering a little bit. 6 or no 6? No 6. 179 miles per hour. I'm really getting the hang of it. No, I think that's just sheer dumb luck. That was a sheer dumb luck. I'm fairly sure of that. Or instinct, perhaps. "10 minutes 21.07. You know what? I'm going to try another lap very quickly. If I crash, I'll immediately stop the lap, but if I don't crash, this lap counts. Because I think I can get this in less than 10 minutes. I really think I can do this in less than 10 minutes. This is probably the first car that I've driven today that's made me actually want to do more. Your prediction was very much on point, yes. The other cars, I was like, okay, 1 lap, that's good. You know, it's not too bad. Especially with the 25, I thought, you know what, that 1 lap was fairly decent. Sure, I could have got... Probably if I did a second lap, I would have knocked a few seconds off immediately, but nothing major, I don't think, until I did maybe 4 or 5 laps. This time, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking... Doesn't matter, I'm counting that. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking I can get this under 10 minutes. I really can. I think. I say that, but I don't know. But the car just slides left and right constantly. I mean, it's as though this car has the just like the Maserati, the 250F, which had all the rear stability of a... What doesn't have rear stability? All the rear stability of a BMW with a brand new driver who's decided he's going to switch traction control off whilst driving in the snow. That's what the rear stability of this car is. There you go. That's the analogy I'm going to use. Brand new BMW driver, no traction control, taken out in the snow. That's this car's. Yeah. Right. Do not bin it at this corner. Right, there we go. Okay, that's going to save a huge amount of time. Yep, that was over 170 through that section only. Nope, there's a crash. I can keep going, Controlled. I'm just going to see what I get. Just curious. Very curious. As long as I do not, if I hit the wall, if I crash into an Armco barrier and I've lost heaps of time, then I'm going to call it. But if I do not crash into an Armco barrier and I save it, then I'm just going to keep going. It's the first time I've wanted to push on a car in a long time on Assetto Corsa. I have to say that, yeah. A little bit of feathering the throttle just to ensure that the car does not lose itself. And again, I think that might just go to show how much I'm trying to push this car despite not knowing the car. Obviously not the fastest way, but it's just, yeah, it's something, right? It's entertaining. Entertainment, that's what this is all supposed to be about. You guys enjoy it, have some fun, relax, get your mind off things, especially with what's going on. That's it about, and perhaps laugh as well at times. I don't know, Leo, I need your ratings on those slides and those catches. Stop looking at chat. There we go. That's good. That was good, that was good. Ease off ever so slightly. The fourth gear this one. Oh, I could have gone faster than that. Those slides are almost like showing off. I assure you, none of those slides were intentional. That's just this car for you. Not one of those slides was intentional. Come on, keep control, there we go. Come on, hold it together. I'm starting to talk less now. As you can see, I'm actually trying to focus, but It's difficult. This car is not wanting to play. Think you have entering Formula Drift? With this car, sure. Why not? I feel like you can get all the points. All power, no grip. That's what you need, right? YouTube corner, good picture, wait for the crowd. That was... I was going to pop that into the next gear. Had I popped that into the next gear while that was going on me, that car would have spun. That would have been bad. Okay. Coming up towards the end of the lap. Third gear looks good for this. Here we go. And I know I could still have gone faster if not for those few slides and the trick where I had to brake coming down from... Oh, what was the corner? Oh, is it before... I've forgotten the name of the turn now. Going up the hill. Before going up the hill, that almost a hairpin turn. It looks like it doesn't have much steering lock, but he's making... There is no steering lock. This thing doesn't have steering lock. It's just... For one of the slides, I'm going to say now, for one of the slides, I had to throw the wheel. The one that you said, wow, that catch, I actually had to throw the wheel over and then just catch it and then turn it back. That's how much... That's how crazy this car's steering is. It's sluggish. And there is the final lap of this car. 9 minutes 30.59. There you go. Do you know what? Honestly, I could probably do another 4 or 5 laps of that before getting tired. But let's go have a look at some of the replay on this. 9 minutes 30 with 2 crashes, yes. Well, 2 slides, no crashes. Okay, right. That was a good time, thank you. Let's go find that slide. Where was that slide? There were a few slides, but let me think. Where was the slides? This is a good car. This is a really in terms of the driving. In terms of being a fast car, it's very fast, but it's just it just keeps you constantly on your toes. Honestly, it's amazing in that sense. Before YouTube corner. Alright, let's find our way to YouTube corner. Alright, where's YouTube corner? This is carousel. So it'll be just after... Right, here we go. So the slide would have been somewhere here. Yep, slide would have been somewhere here. I can see YouTube corner. On the second lap? No, there was one on the first lap. Wasn't there? There was a slide on the first lap that I caught. Where was the slide on the first lap? There it is. There's one. That was one slide. But I'm sure there was a slide on this lap, but... Oh well. I cannot remember now. Now there were just I think there were just slides everywhere on this one. I think this one had slides everywhere. I'm going to have to go through it and find them. I think there was a slide here. There might have been a slide here coming up. No slide here. That's nice. When the slide GT86s there. And Ferraris, how is it I slid those but not this? Yeah, not that part. Oh, is there something up here as well? I can't remember. See, I'm not even using the full length of the full width of the track. Good car in terms of speed. Crazy car in terms of driving ability and what you need to drive it. Oh wait, there is one coming up. There is one coming up. There is one coming up. This one. There's one here. Yeah, that was one. That was definitely one. How do I find a decent camera for that? There you go. That was definitely one. And then there's another one straight after this. So I remember that. There's another one. And then there's another one. There's another one coming up, I'm pretty sure. There's another one. And then it's going to be okay for the next few seconds, I think. I think it's okay round here. And then there's... And then here comes another one. Yes, there's another one coming up now. And then there's probably another one. There's another one. Well, we'll have to come back to these. I'll save the replay. Let's actually get on to driving. Yes, another car. So, what was the time? 9:35.98. So, 9:35.98 brings us to... That's a 3 minutes faster. 3 minutes faster. So that's what we're looking at in that jump. What goes next? After 1967, where should we be heading? Do I have anything in the 70s? There's a Ferrari in the 70s. Let's have a look over at these. These are modern. I will take a modern car out before we finish, even if we don't go through everything. I am going to take a modern car out. We've got the 1970. We could go straight to the 1970s and give this one a go. I think that sounds reasonable. Lotus 72D. First car with a bunch of aerodynamics on it. So I think that's our next car. I'm going to start throwing modern F1 on these, because that's going to give me brake bias and all that kind of stuff. And let's see what we have from here. That's a really nice sunset. So hopefully you guys are enjoying this stream. If you are, please make sure you are hitting the like button and putting in comments in the chat as well. You know, rating my driving, talking about things, talk about the cars, all of that kind of stuff. Okay. Do you know what? I'm gonna go for hard tyres, because I feel like the soft tyres are probably going to overheat through all of this, and that's going to cause problems. I think the fact that the hard tyres take a longer time to warm up will be better over the course of this lap. Might be sluggish at the start, but by the time we're at the end, at least we're not going to be having some really weird tire issues. So let's go ahead and take this, and for the first time we now have front and rear wings. So let's see if I can do Fittipaldi proud. I'll drop this. As you can see, none of these cars have been raced. No, this is not the vacuum car. Actually, this might be the vacuum car. I don't think this is. I do not think this is the vacuum car. Okay. Still is H pattern. Here we go. In fact, before we do that, I'm just going to make sure my screen doesn't switch off. Press any button on the screen to make sure that doesn't switch off. Alright. What's the feeling like on this car? Smaller front wheels, it seems. But they're slicks. Okay, this car goes up to about 10,500 RPM. That's what we're looking for. Okay, this car has aero. This car definitely has aerodynamics. What it doesn't have is turning circle. Because the car sticks to the ground now. Now the back of the car is not being thrown around. So that's now something to take into account. So you're going to have the car pushing out on you. Because the back of the car doesn't turn, so therefore you can't throw the car around. So things have now changed once again. We've got to the 1970s and things have very much changed in terms of how to drive these vehicles. And you can see this car is understeering quite a bit. As one, I do get the tyres up to temperature, and two, we have... That's the first car I've managed to actually put my foot down halfway through the cornering, but I do have to get used to the extra, essentially aero grip now that I haven't had through any of the previous cars. And this car does certainly have some aero grip. Do not touch those curves, they will kill you, the really high ones. Of course you still have to do heel toe downshift because you are braking, shifting down gears, and this is a mechanical H pattern gearbox or dogleg gearbox, whatever it is, but it is a proper gearbox. Sorry, that was a mistake on my part. Completely touched the grass on one side. That just sent the car flying. I say flying, it didn't really go flying, but glad I managed to catch that one. Oh, okay. It does not like curbs. That's what it doesn't like, this car. Which makes sense given that it's really low to the ground, has aero. So that does make sense. This car's a 1970s Formula 1 car. So we are expecting it to be... Are we expecting it to be faster? What do you guys think? Faster than a 9 minutes 30? Which was in the Eagle? As an engineer, can I explain what a... Hang on, I'll read that in a moment. Synchro meshes. Yes. Yes, I can. I will do that after this one, though. I will do that. I'm just going to do a very quick check on the synchro mesh after this lap to ensure that it is the same thing that we're talking about, and I've not mistaken it for anything else. And then I will happily explain synchro mesh to you. As a first lap, 9:30 is good for this one. Okay, well, we're going to try to go for a 9:30. This is another car I think I've only driven. In fact, all these cars that you've seen today, aside from the Lotus... Oh no, I didn't drive the 49, did I? I drove the Eagle. So, all these cars you're seeing today, I have driven only once. Maybe twice, but no more than that. Despite the fact that I have had a Assetto Corsa since 2014. Actually, that looks really fast. It is. It's a lot faster in the corners. It's not, I will say one thing, it does not feel as fast on the straights at all. But it is faster in the corners. Aero is magical. In some ways, yes. I remember when I used to do some aerodynamic analysis on racing vehicles, we used to end up with, used to look at things and realise that changing a single angle of something, it was capable of adjusting. That was probably the fastest I could go through that. It was capable of changing the dynamics of the entire aircraft or vehicle. When you're looking at either race vehicles or aircraft. A prime example of this, of course, is flaps on an aircraft. You change the shape of the wing, and suddenly you've got a whole different type of lift characteristic. And the same thing applies with these vehicles. You add a wing, you change things here and there, and suddenly you've got yourself downforce in this case, but change one little element. Nowadays on modern cars, you change one little element and it does change how a car would handle. It's to an extent that if you had one element that you changed, you could change one element on a car and end up with having to change another entire section of the car just to compensate for a change in airflow, for a change in downforce, for a change in anything really. Oops, some understeer there. So what I'm finding here is that this car is far tamer, but strangely enough, it feels like the Lotus 25, just a lot faster. I'm not sure whether that's... Oops. Come on. There we go. I'm not sure whether I should class that as a good thing or a bad thing. As I said, the 25 was amazing to drive earlier. After that, the Eagle was insane, and then this car is, once again, like the 25, very good to drive. Very, very good to drive. Not as, obviously it's not fast, or it doesn't feel as fast. It certainly doesn't feel as fast as the Eagle at all. And I feel like there's a few things letting it down. One is its top speed, and two is just with the aero, its acceleration is not as good. Could be the design philosophy. You're completely right, it could be the design philosophy. But it does not feel as fast as the Eagle. In fact, you can see from the time, it's not as fast as the Eagle. albeit with 1 or 2 slides, but those 1 or 2 slides would not account for that much in the way of it would not account for that much in the way of lap time. They'd account for 10 seconds, not a minute and a minute and a half, a minute and 15, minutes and 20. It's just the fact that this car is quite draggy. This car is just really, really draggy. Interesting. If you want to see that Eagle again, I will definitely be driving that Eagle again. Right, let's go through a little bit of a replay on this and then see where we go from there. I might do 2 more cars. Yep, I might do 2 more cars. Let's see, and I'm just going to check if synchro mesh is what I think it is. Should we actually get this car moving? There you go. Let's watch one of the. Let's watch one of the slides. We'll watch from a slide. There's a slide. There it is. That was a terrible camera. I want a best camera. Give me a best camera. There's a good camera. And that's why. That's how you do Formula Drift in an F1 car. Something about the gearbox of a car. Yeah. So it is. This is what I think it is. So it's there's synchronizer rings on a gearbox. So yeah, let me pick another car. I'll start driving it, and then that's where. So that wouldn't have cost all that time. Old gearboxes don't have it and make it hard shift. Yep, okay, I do know. It's synchronizer rings. So let me just have a quick read on older systems, and then I'll go from there. Right. Let's see. Okay, yeah, I know what synchronizer mesh is. Well, right, let's pick another car and then let's save the replay on this car. So when you change a gear inside a transmission, if you think about teeth and think about gears and the way they have teeth, for a gearbox to work, or for a gear to be set, let's see, what car do we have next? I think the next car on the list is a Ferrari. I think it's that one, Niki Lauda's. There we go. Let's take that one out for a drive and see what we can do. So you have gears, and gears have teeth. So each gear, so you have gears that are different sizes, and that's how you get gear ratios and things like that. If you had 2 gears at the exact same number of teeth and the exact same size, and you had an input shaft connected to one gear and an output shaft connected to another gear, if you spun the input shaft at, let's say, 1 RPM, the output gear would spin at also 1 RPM. So that doesn't really work. That's a 1-to-1 ratio. So that's the idea of the gear ratio. Now what they do is they change the size. So you can see here we've got 12 to 29, 17 to 31, 17 to 25. So that's telling you what the size or the teeth potentially in the gearbox or in the gears are, and that tells you how it spins. Let's give that a little bit more. Right. Let's get driving on this. Have I? Yeah, I've driven this car before, you can tell. So, when you do that, now imagine you're driving a... This might be a bit loud. Imagine you're driving a car and your engine spins at a certain speed. Let's say you're spinning your engine at 3,000, let's say actually 1,000 RPM, and your gearbox is spinning at 1,000 RPM. Let's get this show on the road. Okay, so you've got two, you're spinning your engine at 1000 RPM, your gearbox is spinning at 1000 RPM. Now what will happen is that when you press the clutch to change gear, you disengage, you're disengaging the gear. So you're disengaging the teeth from one shaft. And then what will happen is that you change gear and the gear fork will move to connect it to a different set of gears or a different shaft. However, whilst you do that, you've got to bear in mind that one set, for example in the gearbox, will be spinning at a certain RPM, and the other set will be spinning at an engine RPM, let's say, for example. So that makes it difficult to actually get from one gear to another, and this is something that old cars have, the problem with old cars. So you have to match the gears, or you have to match the revs from one to another. And that's the same with downshifting. That's the idea between heel and toe downshifting as well, to an extent. So you have to match the gears for a smooth transition, so that the engine RPM matches the gearbox RPM. And when it does that, the teeth will be spinning at the same rate, and it will slot into gear. So the teeth from one side will slot into the other gear. Not a problem. If you do not, and you just try and slam it into gear, essentially you crunch the gear. So what that means is that the teeth are not going in because they're spinning at different rates, and if they're spinning at different rates, that will result in you scraping against a gear or missing it. Essentially, you miss the gear. You can feel this in a car when you're not using the clutch. When you're not using the clutch, what will happen is that you feel some sort of resistance until you reach the right RPM, and then it just pops in, just really, really easily. That is because you're trying to get from one gear to another, or pop out of a gear and pop into another gear without using the clutch, which means you're not disengaging. Essentially, you're not using any synchronizer. Everything's trying to spin at the exact same RPM. What a synchronizer does is it's like a little, I suppose you could describe it as a mini clutch. So it's a little thing inside the gears between each gear. Now it contains I think it contains a collar and a synchronizer ring in the modern synchro mesh ones. What that allows it to do is that when you disconnect a gear, it allows the gear to spin freely of... Ooh, don't do that. It allows the gear to spin freely of the shaft itself. So that way you can actually slot one gear into another a lot faster, because you don't have to wait for the gear to slow down, because it's not at the constant speed of the shaft or at the fixed speed of an input shaft, and it slots in a lot smoother. So that's the idea of a synchro mesh gearbox in very, very basic terms. There's a lot more to it, and there's an older type of it as well, which just use a freely moving gear. So when you're disengaged, it would just freely spin, and it could easily connect up to the next gear. But that's how a synchronizer mesh gearbox works, in very, very basic terms. Hopefully that answers your question, and as to why you actually use it, and why old cars are difficult, or you have difficulty changing gear in old cars that do not have synchronizer meshes in their gearboxes. So they just have gear to gear fixed. Or why indeed changing without a clutch is also the exact same sort of situation. I've forgotten how easy the 312T is to drive. He says as he goes off track. Mind you, that being said, given I was talking about synchronizer meshes and stuff, maybe I'm driving this slow, I do not know. You still have the problem of the inertia of the gearbox, correct? Because even if the clutch is disengaged, the gearbox doesn't just grind to a halt. The gearbox, the shafts and everything in the gearbox is still spinning. Because if you think about it, the gearbox is connected to, so you've got wheel RPMs and things like that. So the gearbox doesn't just crunch to a halt the moment you disengage a clutch. If it did, every time you press the clutch, your car would just stop. And then you've got, so on one side you've got engine RPM to worry about, and on the other side you've got gearbox RPM to worry about. How did I understeer into that? How is that even possible? How did I understeer into that? I feel like I've done a really slow lap here, to be honest. I might do a second on this. Mind you, that being said, I remember when I drove this car, I did say it felt slow. In fact, all the aero cars have felt slow in this so far. So far, the Eagle's been the fastest car of the lot. And that's exactly the aim of the clutch, is to help swap the gears without having to. Well, actually, it's just to swap the gears full stop, so you can get it out without causing your engine to just rev up like crazy, or your gearbox to rev up like crazy as you've got neutral, and suddenly you have no mass to actually move. There's no essentially reciprocating mass because nothing's connected, and suddenly you've got a free revving engine. I might do a second lap of this car. But now that I've done that, I think I definitely am going to do a second lap of this car, just because I think this car needs to get faster. So the free spinning, yeah, has less inertia. Not exactly. It's just easier to. I suppose, yeah, it does have less inertia, but also it slows down. You see, a free spinning gear will slow down, and if it slows down, and when you've pulled it out of one gear setup, if it slows down, what you've got is the higher gear will always be at a lower RPM. Which, as a driver, you know that the higher gear you go in, the lower RPM you have. And that's the same thing with, as I said, on downshifts. Nowadays you can downshift and it will get into the next gear. In the older days you would have to rev match, and the reason you'd have to rev match is because you'd have to speed up the gear so that it would slot in to the gear that was now spinning faster, or the gear section that was spinning faster than the previous gear, than the higher gear. So if you think about it, a higher gear spins slower than a lower gear or a smaller gear, and so you'd have to actually increase that. So that's why we do rev matching. Nowadays we rev match, same reason. Synchro mesh can do it, but it's much faster. It's much faster for us to rev match, and it's much smoother because we can get off the clutch a lot faster if we're already in the gear we need to be. This is a little pop. I don't think this car has a V12. I think this is a flat 12. I don't think this is a V12. I think this is a flat 12 in this car. It sounds different to a V12. Okay, I think that's a lap done. Yeah, we're done. We'll just stick with the previous lap. That will do. Lost it on the Michael Schumacher. Well, that V12 wasn't bad, but the Echo was pretty good. So not the V12. You're welcome. It wasn't the greatest explanation. I'm a bit rusty on the whole in-depth mechanics of gearboxes and things like that. There wasn't really much to show on this lap. It was a rather mundane lap. I will save the replay, of course. I always save the replays. And let's go ahead and exit and see what else we can find. Also, let's write down this time. 10 minutes 12 is what we got. 10 minutes 12.059. 10 minutes 12.059. That's the Ferrari. So that was the Ferrari 312T. 10:12.059. So that. Oh, what? I can't remember what we did for the. What was the Lotus 72? Oh, I forgot the Lotus 72 one. I didn't write that down. I forgot to write down the Lotus 72 time. Rubbish. That's a problem. Can I just go to lap times? Today. Oh no, because it wasn't a valid lap, so it hasn't actually put it in. So it went red. 10:39. 10:39. So this car was faster. So we are getting faster, which is pretty good. Let's see. I'm going to continue only for a little while longer. I've been going for, I don't know, over 2 hours now. But I'll keep going for a little while. There are a few other cars to try out. Let's go see what other cars we have. What does McLaren have of this era? McLaren. Here we go. That isn't this era. That's beyond. That's 1980s. Let's see. Is there anything else we have in the 70s? Yes, it was slower than the Eagle, that's for sure. VRC, do you have anything? No, nothing. Maserati doesn't have anything. You do not have anything. What do you have? Anything from... That's 90s, 91, 2000s, 96. So it's none of those. I actually do not think... Ooh. I do not think we've got... I don't think we've got a car until the 1980s now. Oh, that's interesting. Yep. 1986 is what we're looking at next. Okay. Let's go. 1986 with the Lotus 98T. That's the next one to go for. I think. I might be missing one, but this is the next one we're going for. The 86... This is not the vacuum car, no. This is the 98T. This is the insane 1200 bhp car. 1200 bhp manual gearbox. The turbo is beyond ridiculous, and if this car falls off turbo, it's a problem. Try to find the vacuum car. It's not this one. It's certainly not this one. But this one is one you're going to enjoy. This one was driven by Ayrton Senna. I am going to leave it on, not qualifying, so I'm going to leave it on mediums. Qualifying tyres will die. I will put the pressure slightly lower just so we can get some decent heat into the tyre. Fuel I am going to drop just like everybody else. All the others have been sitting on 30, and turbo is going to 100% immediately. Now, this is the car that will kill, and I genuinely mean that. This is the combination of Lotus and put it this way. This is a Lotus with the insanity of the Eagle. That's the best way I could describe this now. And I genuinely mean that. The lap time on this car may end up being... I have no idea what the lap time on this car may end up being, but it's going to be good. If I can keep it in a straight line. And I've just realised I need to adjust the gear ratio, so I'm going to adjust the gear ratios there, because that was a really bad gear ratio. That's one thing I forgot to do. There we go. That's the gear ratio I need for the Nordshleife. Okay, here we go again. Right, wish me luck, because this car is, again, a car I have not driven in a while, actually. As you can see, we are now doing 190 miles per hour. And the brakes on this car are ridiculously good. This car is literally the first foray into modern F1. We're now talking, we're getting up to modern F1 here. But with 100% turbo, I can also tell you now, this car is very, very difficult to drive. But you have to try and keep it on the turbo, because if it dies off the turbo, you're in trouble. And it's very difficult to keep this car on the turbo round these corners. But yes, this car at 100% turbo as we've got right now, we're talking about 1,200 bhp, I think, something around that figure. And I think the turbo is 5 bar of boost. The name of this Lotus is the 98T. It's a very, very famous Lotus. And I assure you, not one you mess around with. Not one you mess around with at all. This is one I have to actually focus on, and I will put the volume up for you guys. I just realised that volume was really quite low, so I'll put the volume up for you guys to enjoy a little bit more. But I remember putting this down as a... When I tested this car a long time ago, I actually put this car down as a 10 out of 10 for fun. It was insane. And it still is to this day. Having driven plenty of Formula 1 cars in Assetto Corsa, this car is still probably one of the most insane of the lot. And as you can see, just going off like that, the trouble it causes you. And the amount of time that actually loses you as well. For a car like this, that was probably a loss of about 2 seconds. And, you know, over the course of a lap, doing mistakes like that could cost you an entire minute. First car with 6 gears as well. This is probably one of the cars where I will not be able to look at the chat. The crackles on liftoff, yeah. Pay close attention to the noise of the turbo as well. But this is quite a machine, I have to admit. And I do not think I've ever driven this at the Nordshleife. Now thinking about it, this might be the first time I've ever driven this car. In fact, that being said, it's the first time I've driven almost all of those Formula 1 cars, barring the 312. All these Formula 1 cars, it's the first time I'm driving it at the Nordschleife. I have driven a car more insane than this though at the Nordschleife, aside from the Eagle, and that was the Zonda, the Zonda R. That's evil. That car is absolutely evil, that makes this car, in a way, it makes this car look tame. But then you remember that this car is going a lot faster. Not as much of a workout as the Eagle. I don't think anything will be. Still quite a vehicle to be driving. So the 312T decided to understeer there. This car decides to oversteer there. Right, we're going to need first for this. I always worry about putting this car in first, because when the boost comes on, you really have to short shift. First and second, you really have to short shift, lest you want to crash. You're okay. Once you're in third, the power is a little bit more manageable. I say a little bit. But first is brutal. Second, you have to be careful. Actually, this I want to leave in third. You can manage second, but you have to be careful. Third onwards is okay. Unfortunately, this is mainly second and third gear corners. I'm not going to put it into first at any point in any of these. It's just not worth the risk. There we go. Nice. You see the car just started to snap, but the tyres, the grip on these tyres is insanely good. And remember, this is a scruffy lap. So unlike the others where I've done a good lap, which I might do a second lap of this is actually a fairly scruffy lap, where I'm not really sure about the car. And you can imagine why. Let's see what lap time this car does. You just hear it bounce off the limiter. Watch the boost as it builds up, and then give it everything you've got. It must have looked crazy while it raced. It certainly would have. Yes, I think you are right. 197 miles per hour. This car is not that much slower than a modern Formula 1 car. I think I might try a proper lap with this one. I'm going to try one proper lap. 8:44.75. Yep. It's okay, we'll go off like that, that's fine. It's alright for a start. So I don't want to do that too much. At 8:44, that makes it the fastest so far of all the Formula 1 cars. Of course, this stream is going to be ending very soon. So we might get some car faster than this. One, because we're probably only going to do one more car after this. But it just gives you an idea as to how fast this particular car is. As I said, it's a combination of an Eagle and a Lotus. It has the drivability of the Lotus, you can feel it. The underpinnings of this car are very, very much Lotus. The underpinnings are very, very much Lotus, as I said. You can feel it, but it has the insanity that comes only in the Eagle. Shui's F2002? Oh, maybe. Maybe that's what's next. Just to finish it off, I want to obviously drive a lot more than that, but time doesn't permit me to do so. I'm sure in another stream I've got a couple of ideas. In fact, Leo, I'll be talking to you on Patreon at some point about a couple of ideas. I might need your assistance on, if possible, if it works. But for now, we're just going to enjoy. So this is where we lost major time last time. I'm not going to lose it this time. Oh, maybe. Almost did. And remember, this is not on qualifying tyres. Now imagine how fast this car would be on qualifying tyres. If we threw this onto qualifying, how fast would this car end up being? If the qualifying tyres could last. In fact, thinking about it, the qualifying tyres should be able to last a single lap of the Nordshleife. Right? I don't know actually. Maybe I might do a test on that at some point. I shall have to do a test. But for now, we're just giving this car a thorough workout. Just showing what 1986 was all about. Formula 1 cars of 1986. I might have needed first there. It's okay. Fell off the turbo, but that's fine. Once it comes back on the turbo, it's totally okay. As long as it doesn't completely fall off the turbo, you're alright. If it does completely, then that's when you struggle just a little bit. The speed is mesmerising to watch. I'm glad. It's a shame I can't do that in 60 FPS for you guys. I'm watching it in 60 FPS, I'll tell you now. The speed is mesmerising. So is the concentration levels. Because I know at any point, this car could just give up on me. Oh, I could have gone faster through that. Just compare the difference in speed there. The Lotus 72D, I was doing 119 miles per hour. 119, that's 119. In this car, I just saw that clock 164 miles per hour. I think that tells you all you need to know about the speed differential. That a certain number of years makes, how many years was it? 72D was 1970. So we're looking at 1970 to this is 1916 years. Was this 1986? I think so. There's too many numbers. You've got the 72D from the 1970. Then you've got the 98T from 1986. It's just a little bit too many numbers to be thinking about. Particularly when the number I'm thinking about is 130 miles an hour before I hit the brakes coming into this corner. 120 miles per hour for that one, or 117. 80 miles per hour through there. 119 miles per hour before hitting the brakes for that. So, you know, it's I've got a lot of numbers to be thinking about at this point in time. And remember, this is still slow. Given some practice, I know I can get this car a lot faster, lots faster than I currently have it. Thankfully, I don't think I've ever spun at the second carousel. It's probably one of the most embarrassing places to actually spin a car, because it would be one of the laziest, slowest spins ever. Imagine driving that for real. Oh, it would be difficult. I can tell you now that driving this for real would be insanely difficult. But I think we've got a representative lap time now up on the board, or coming up on the board anyway. I always take that just easily, that downhill section. I'm always a little bit easier on it. Got to watch out for that bump as well, coming back onto the GP circuit. 753.85. That will do. There you go. That's the full Nordshleife for 753.85. Alrighty. And we'll do one more. I will do one more car to finish this stream off, and then I will end. So let's write that one in. 753.85. 53.85 seconds. That puts it 1 minute and 37 seconds. 50 seconds faster. Yep, that's true. It's 1 minute 37 seconds faster than I took the Eagle. So there we go. So that just goes to show what the... Did I save the replay? I don't know. It doesn't matter. I can save two and then delete one. So that just goes to show how fast this particular vehicle is. You can just see the speed it carries out of a YouTube corner. Definitely something to have a look at. One more car before we end. That's modern supercar fast. That's modern Formula 1 car fast, I can tell you that now. One more car to take, only because I do not have the time to do any more, and it is going to be the Ferrari F2004. However, I think there is that version of it, and I really want to try out this version. Michael Schumacher, of course, we're going to do that. Let's go for it. Full sponsors. No, smoking is bad, but I'm going to put the full sponsors on regardless. And here we go for one more lap of the Nordschleife before I end this stream. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. I've seen some of the likes, I've seen some of the views. Leo chatting all the way through. Hopefully you didn't have something else to do like you did last time you joined me on the stream, and you're supposed to be on for 5 minutes and you ended up through the entire stream. laughing at the Postman Pat's van. As I do remember that. But it should be pretty good. Let's give this a go. That volume needs to come down. 222, 226, medium, 30 litres of fuel, just like the other one. Electronics, what does it say here? A value of 1, okay. Absolute minimum. Tomorrow's Easter Friday, indeed. I'm going to put it to not absolute minimum, but I'm going to actually leave the traction control on this car for the simple reason of this car has traction control. Generally, I do not like driving with it, but for the purposes of this particular video, let's give it a look. My voice is too low. No, I think this car is just too loud. Yeah, that's what it is. I think this car is just way too loud. There you go. Right, get used to putting my left foot on the brake. This car is very loud. I've got to put that down to 24, 25. Actually, hold on. That sounds about right. Here we go. Oh, I haven't got any brake bias on this. Okay. This is very different for me now. Modern brakes, modern car. I've forgotten how to drive these kind of cars. I've very much forgotten how to drive these. So we've just fast forwarded, we've just gone forward in time, I don't know how many years. Here come Michael Schumacher coming up to the Michael Schumacher S. No braking, just let off the accelerator with these cars. Okay, I'm starting to slowly getting more comfortable with this. The F1 you were watching as a kid. This is sort of the Formula 1 I grew up with as well as the earlier F1. Of course, this is a car that you do use first gear in on occasion. And now to a place where this car does not go because of the incredible amount of bumps. I cannot imagine what this car is going to do on here. I've never driven a Formula 1 car of this caliber on this track. So you're going to have to forgive me for a number of crashes, I think. Okay, this car started to come back to me a bit. The way this car drives. It started to come back to me very slowly. It's also very hard to see this track from this low down. As demonstrated right there. Just could not spot my turning point. These are medium tyres. If I remember, at this point in time it was Bridgestones, right? Bridgestone medium compound tyres. offering medium amounts of grip. But to be honest, in the Assetto Corsa, soft tyres have always done badly for me. Soft tyres have always done badly for me in the Assetto Corsa, because I tend to have a bad habit of overheating. I have a really bad habit of overheating soft tyres. I just push them a lot, so medium tyres always tend to work well for me in races as well. No, these are not wet tyres. These are, oh, of course, you may not remember, but we had groove tyres. Back in the 2000s, we had groove tyres. Groove tyres first came out in 1990. I'm just trying to think, when was the first race, first groove tyres? 1998 season? 1998 we went to groove tyres, and the idea for groove tyres was to slow down racing to make the drivers more aware or more on their toes throughout the race. So it did make the cars slower, but the groove tyres was, you had less grip, so the drivers had to be a little bit more careful. And I think the groove tyres went on until 2009, where they went back to full slicks again. So between 1998 and 2009, they had groove tyres, if I remember correctly. And in 2009, Pirelli took over, and Pirelli went back to full slick tyres. And that's where we are now, so we're still with the Pirelli slicks. I think in 1998, if I remember my Formula 1, in 1998 it was 4 grooves on the rear tyre and 3 on the front, and then 99 onwards it was 4 grooves front and rear. Okay, I've really missed driving these cars. This is how you drive an F1 car. .194, we're not getting any faster. That's no good. .94, we're stuck. We're going to be beaten by the Lotus 98T at this rate. I need to do a second lap. I must beat the 98T. I must beat the 98T. Oh wait, I might have just beaten the 98T. Regardless, I'm doing another lap. And this is the final lap I'm going to do, so for those people who have been on the stream or at any point, thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys do hit the like button, I hope you guys do subscribe to the channel for more videos on Assetto Corsa. It comes in the form of live streams, but that might be changing at some point. There might be some additional Assetto Corsa videos coming in, but for now they are in the form of live streams. Do leave a comment in the comments box below letting me know what you think if you're watching this after the stream. If not, well, actually you can leave the comment in the comments box regardless whether you're watching it on stream or not. So I'm not sure if comments are enabled during the stream, but you could always pop one in afterwards. If not, you can put it in the chat box right now. Also, if you do really enjoy these, you can consider supporting me on Patreon, like Leo here. That's www.patreon.com/ecgadget. The support would be massively appreciated. It would really help me out. You can also find me on social media at ECGadgetLP for both Twitter and Instagram, and at ECGadget for Reddit. I do occasionally post on Reddit, but mostly on Twitter and Instagram. A lot of the photos from this stream I take after the stream or over the next few days will be making their way onto Instagram for sure. I think we're going to have some pretty nice looking ones overall. So make sure you do follow me on there, that would be great. And of course, by following me on Twitter, if anything happens, any streams are announced, things like that, you'll get to hear it and you will know. Don't touch that. It's a bad idea. Also, Leo, thank you very much for saying I'm making this look easy. I assure you it's not easy, and I'm glad I'm making it look easy, but it certainly is not easy. Especially that eagle. That eagle was very, very difficult. So what was your favourite car of the lot through the stream? I have to say this one, obviously, but then I am extremely biased. If I was being unbiased, that's actually, now that I'm thinking about it, being unbiased, that might be difficult. Unfortunately, I have to say I did not like the 312T. The 312T just felt too slow to me. Similarly, I did not really like the 72T. The Eagle was a car that I really liked. So you're saying the Eagle. I was going to say, perhaps the Eagle. Despite the car being insane and being incredibly hard to drive, it was probably, I think the Eagle, the 98T and this are three incredible cars. That being said, I really like the Lotus 25 as well. The bathtub with the exhaust. That was surprisingly nice. Alright, on the inside this time. Not something you often do with a Formula 1 car. Now I know why, that was horrible. Modern F1 cars should never do that. Oh, that downshift through all of that. Just one turn, one downshift. That felt really nice to do. Hello YouTube people, goodbye YouTube people. The amount of downforce on this car is also sometimes beggars belief. The amount of downforce you have on this vehicle. But now we're on for what I think could be a fast lap to end. Really pushing this car. And I still know I can go faster, but let's see what this lap gives us. I'm looking for a sub 7 minutes. Sub 7 minutes should be possible. sub 6 minute 50. Sub 6 minute 40. Yeah, that was a sub 6 minute 40. I don't think you can get much sub 6 minute 40 for that. And there we go. That is a lap of everything. And I'll let you guys enjoy that. I will save that replay. 6 minute 39. Sub 7 minute or you on sub. Well, what do you think that one? I think that was definitely one to go for. That was a 6 minutes 39.99. Thank you very much. My thumbs are now blistered, but that's what you get. There's actual bruising on my thumbs after driving. How long have I been driving F1 cars for? Almost 3 hours. Driving F1 cars for 3 hours. There you go. I am actually going to leave it there for you guys. Let's go to this one, the empty one. I'm going to let you guys enjoy that. If you didn't see the time pass, I most certainly did. But thank you, as I said at the start of that lap, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, comment if you're watching this afterwards. Thank you, Leo, for joining me on the stream throughout the entire stream. Everybody who's left comments. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Hopefully it made your day, or just made your day better. Make sure you guys stay safe. Remember to obviously wash your hands. Just keep yourself isolated if that's what the procedures are in your country. Look after yourself. Enjoy the time off. If you've got time off, do enjoy the time off. Maybe pick up a new hobby. Do something like that. It would be really awesome. Set some lap times in Assetto Corsa if you've got them, because that's what I've been doing. Clearly, obviously, I do not have time off, but this is the Easter weekend, so I will have a little bit more time. I think that's all I've got to say. I'll let you guys enjoy the rest of this lap before ending the stream. So, yep, I'll see you guys next time.